So if you think social media is only for young people, that it's too late to get started, that it's too complicated, that it's not actually going to convert any business, today I'm going to bust a lot of those myths and I'm going to give you some very simple tactics that you can do to start growing your community today. And jump in the comments and let me know if you've ever wanted to grow an actual community on social media. If you've ever had intent around putting out content for whoever you are and whatever you do, and you want to do that attraction type business, because that's what we did. If you're new to this channel, my name is Justin Conoco. I own Prime Real Estate Brokerage, the most trusted name in real estate, and Prime Media Productions, the most trusted name in media. And we have a global network. We're located in southwestern Ontario, Canada. Somehow I became a global ambassador, one of out of 7 globally, of over 20,000 people for Sirhands in McGillivray Trusted Agents. And in the content space, I teach people how we built that business using marketing strategies, digital content, and social media on this specific channel. And it's really, really simple. I'm going to break it down. Let me give you the strategy first, and then we'll dig into a bit of the myth portion of it, because there's a lot of stuff that you tell yourself that has been debunked over the last couple of years. So I'll give you some insights. First and foremost, I see Success Fab Motivation is here. Good morning, Kate Volman. She had an amazing segment yesterday on Breakfast with Champions. I was there for it, and I was actually going fishing, Kate. And on my way fishing, I was thinking about everything that you guys were saying about doing the work. And I did the work on the river yesterday, and then I did the work in my business. So thank you for the inspiration. I see Ramon Ray, bust those myths. Oh, I will, my man. Global William Wealth Warriors. Good morning. Renee Noor is an absolute queen. Nice to see you as well. And I see you on par. Gave you a shout out before we started the live. If you're new to the channel, you want to become part of the Prime Nation, you can just DM me here, hit subscribe, or go to justinconoco.com, sign up in the resource section, and we'll give you access to come on and ask guest questions live and a whole bunch of extras. But let's jump right into the actual strategies. So the first thing I'm going to do is talk to the person that maybe has way too many people on their social medias and they feel like they need to clean it up a little bit, right? I'm going to start with that because I do feel like I'm that person. Like I have probably 3,000 people that I follow on Instagram. I've got a whole bunch of people that I follow on Twitter that aren't necessarily the right people. And why am I starting with that? Well, I think no matter what platform you're on when it comes to a digital content strategy, you need to understand who you're speaking to. Now, if I look at all of the social media platforms and I started with, say, a YouTube would absolutely love if you were somebody that spoke directly to Latino actors trying to break into Hollywood. Why would they love that? Because it is literally a search engine. And if you were putting out content that was searchable and suggestible to people that were Latino actors trying to get into Hollywood, you would make Google's job very easy for it. Instagram is the exact same way. Twitter is the exact same way. LinkedIn is the exact same way. The way that the systems operate is they're trying to show you more of what you like and what you engage with. Now, gets a little bit tricky because obviously we have interests and hobbies in many, many different things. So what I want to say is building the framework of the community is one of the most important things, because by doing that, you can still be yourself and share that you love fishing and mountain biking and all of the other things within that community. But at least the platform will still know the baseline of who your community is, by which attract people that are trying to do business with you in that sense. There's a whole lot of words. Let me show you tactically what I actually mean. I can't do this on Instagram on the actual page, but I can do it on Twitter. So here's a simple strategy. This is strategy number 1, homework for you to do. In your calendar every single day, what I want you to do is, let's just go to your, I still call it Twitter, go to your X account. And then what you'll do is you're actually going to go to your following tab. I only had about 800 followers at about 8 months ago. And I got intentional about Twitter. And I noticed a massive uptick, and I'll show you exactly how I did it here with my intent of getting to 10,000 by the end of the year. Probably not going to get to 10,000 now, but if I make it to 5, I know by next year I'll be at 10, and then the compound effect happens after that. 10 gets to 20 a lot easier, and so on and so forth. So if I go to my following, and this is the framework piece, the people I'm following are going to tell X who my community is and who I'm engaging with. It's also going to be the feed of stuff that I see that I interact with. what's important about this is as I'm going down here and I'm reading the people that I'm following, Nazma Ali, she's in the media all the time in Toronto. She's like a personal friend, somebody that I interact with in the real estate space. Owl 360 IT, they're in the IT space. I just had them on my podcast on this channel. I'm teaching you how not to get hacked, how to set up proper infrastructure at your company so that your data is secure. If you want to watch that, watch the replay. Neil's a good friend as well too. I go down and down. This guy, Nick Hilsina, I've never seen this person before. I don't know what their bio is. I'm probably going to unfollow them. Now, I'm doing this live on my channel. And if this is somebody that I know, feel free to DM me and say, hey, man, you just unfollowed me. And I don't really understand why. But I'm okay to have that conversation and just say, oh, it was actually an error. I didn't realize that we were connected beyond that, because I can tell you, I don't know who this person is. I don't know who this person is. I don't know who Fiona Welch is. And if I look at Believe Invest and I'm seeing that I'm just unfollowing people that have no bios and no context to where they fit in my community, I would rather lose 10 people that I have not had an interaction with in X amount of time for 1 or 2 people that I'm going to have to re-engage with than just keep 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people in my following that I'm not interacting with, because it's a net negative. Now, there's a really cool way to do this on Instagram too. And this one's even more powerful because it gives you twofold. So check this out. I can't do it on the screen because it doesn't allow you to do it on desktop. You can open up your Instagram. And if I go to my profile, I'll try and show you on the screen. This is not very techy. And I go to following 3,800 people. Your follower ratio actually matters as well too. So how many followers you have versus how many people you're following, the platform actually cares about that. But if you'll see this screen, you'll see contacts pop up first, right? If I click following, here's the trick. Swipe down. All of a sudden at the top, it's going to say least interacted with. It's a little feature that Instagram provides you to let you know the least interacted people in your ecosystem that you're following. Why does Instagram do that? Because Instagram wants to curate conversation. The other thing that people don't know is time on platform is what everybody's trying to get. YouTube, X, Instagram, TikTok, the longer you spend on the platform, the better it is. It's why YouTube doesn't like you putting links, sending people off site in your YouTube videos. I try to limit how many links I put in my description, because if you click the link and you leave YouTube, that actually tells YouTube that you've now left their platform. What I want you to do is watch this video, then watch the Owl 360 video, then maybe watch a video on how to create batch, come up with ideas and schedule content. So like all of those are the videos I want you to watch on this channel. So there's another little tip for you. So now I click least interacted with. As this comes up, this does 2 things for me. I see Sandy Sells, South Florida. Sandy Schwartz, met him on Clubhouse. Super nice guy. Used to be in the media space. I haven't talked to Sandy in like probably 6 or 8 months. So it actually makes sense that he's popping up on this platform. So what I can do now is I'm not going to unfollow Sandy, because I actually like Sandy. He's in the real estate space. I can do business with him. I was just in Florida. So I'll go to his post and I'll actually interact with Sandy. And what I would typically do is I'd click on his posts, I'd comment, and I may send him a DM as well. Something Instagram is pushing towards heavily, Adam Mosseri said this in a tweet, is DMs. They want people to be in direct messages using the platform as a messaging platform. Kind of what Clubhouse is trying to become. Instagram's already doing the damn thing. So I would DM Sandy, and that'll actually tell Instagram that now we're interacting and take him off my least interacted list. So that's actually helping me. Dutch Bros Coffee. I followed this account years ago because Dutch Bros Coffee is one of the best examples of creating a loyal, dedicated brand. But I don't need to follow them. They're not in my ecosystem. It was more of a business case study. So I am going to unfollow them because I don't interact with them. It's a net negative to my account. Your homework is do like 5 or 10 of those a day. So I have 3,800 people. I would love to get that down to 1,000 people that I'm following that are 1,000 true fans of my brand, that I'm supporting the content that they put out, and they're going to help me structure my ecosystem. You can do this on LinkedIn. You can do this on Facebook. Don't want to overwhelm you. What I want to give you is a very simple tool to just help you get started, and also just give you a little bit of juice to think about in terms of like, what are you doing on these platforms? Like what's your end game, right? And my end game is be the most trusted name in real estate, in media. So as I look at my platforms, I ask myself these questions: is what I'm doing interacting on these platforms helping me get there? Because the resistance creates the The resistance creates the resilience, right? By doing the thing, I'm constantly refining it and getting closer to the path that I want to get to. The second hack that I'm going to give you, that is how I built pretty much everything that I have, and I continue to do this, is my 5-5-5 strategy. So you can use this if you're talking about a CRM. You can use this if you want to grow an Instagram account or an X account or whatever. I'll use Instagram as my case study. So 5 people you know, 5 people you don't know, and 5 people you want to know. That is my strategy. So every day I contact 15 people. So if it's in my real estate business, I'll go through my database and I'll talk to maybe 5 clients. I'll talk to 5 leads that I have no idea who they are. And I'll reach out to 5 people in my ecosystem that I should know. Could be other agents, it could be developers, it could be people that are, other people, mentors and friends of mentors that I want to get on the podcast. So I'm touching, say, 15 people a day. That whole process doesn't take a whole lot of time. I'm going to show you how to actually do it on Instagram. And Instagram has a built-in feature. If you're like, I don't know who to talk to, Justin, which is always the question. So check this out. So we're going to go back to the screen share. I'm going to try and talk about this audibly. I'm on Clubhouse Live. That's why I have an ear pod in my ear. I always get that question on my channel. Let me go back to this little screen share option. All right. I want to make the screen bigger. So check this out. If you're on Instagram, I don't care if you're on your mobile phone or you're on the desktop, you have these story bubbles at the top. Instagram is telling you who you should be talking to. You may not think about it that way, but if you want to do your 5-5-5, do it using your story bubbles, because your story bubbles lead to your DMs that I told you were a very important thing right now on Instagram. So if I look at this list and I look at Razorback, Ray Allen, my boy from Arkansas, met him on Clubhouse. I spent hundreds of hours masterminding with this guy. What I could do is realize that I haven't actually probably had a personal conversation with Ray in a little bit. I could easily click on his profile. I'm probably not going to click in the direct message chat quite yet because he's a personal friend and we've had conversations and I don't want to blow him up on my live YouTube channel. But what I would do is I would probably comment right on this story, something related to this actual message, right? So watch the full show. So I miss this show. I'll get back on the next one. So I actually would go typically and support him live and help him share this room out. I think it's like Wednesdays at 1 p.m. PST. I could be wrong about that, but now I send this message. What did I just do? I just told Instagram, hey, Ray's my boy. I want to talk to him a little bit more. So then I'd go to the next one. Let me go to, that's his story. So let me striking mechanic. Chris Clements. He's an absolute monster. Chris Clements, a ex-UFC fighter, actually holds the record for one of the fastest knockouts on the planet. He's a personal friend. I've trained with him for years at ATC. Adrenaline's one of the best gyms on the planet. Mark Hominick, Sam Stowe, Chad LaPriest, Chris Hordecki. I mean, yeah, Sean Tompkins founded the gym. Unbelievable gym that I rep. I've done their business acquisitions for them. So long story short, why I'm giving the backstory is I like Chris. I should talk to him more, right? And as I'm clicking through these story bubbles, I can easily hit 5 people that I know. And I can communicate with 5 people that I know and start telling the algorithm and priming it and making sure that I'm staying in touch with people that I love, not to monetize them or turn them into something, but to find inspiration using the platform's tools. Instagram's a multi-billion-dollar company. There's no reason none of you should be doing this, right? So there's your second piece of homework. First piece of homework, make sure that you're following the right people. Second piece of homework is touch 5 story bubbles a day and just start talking to people. Why I say 5 is that's very easy. It should take you less than 10 minutes and start conversations with these people. Second thing you're going to do is scroll through your feed, right? So for the next 5, so that's 5 people you know, 5 people you maybe want to, or 5 people you don't know. So check this out. Broke Agent, Eric Simon's been on the podcast as well too. I was on his podcast recently. His feed is full of real estate agents that interact on IG. He's hilarious. This channel is really funny. So if you like real estate content videos, check them out. BAMX is their new platform too. They're killing it with that. But here's the actual rub. What I can do is if I want to find new people in my ecosystem is I look for people that are in my ecosystem that have done the same. So the Broke Agent's a really good example of that. There's probably 5 people in this list I should know in the real estate space. I send referrals all over the world. I actually send referrals to UK, Israel, BC, Texas, Florida. If you're looking for real estate anywhere on the planet, let me know. I have one of the best networks you can imagine. I don't care if it's residential, commercial, or investment property. Just sent a massive referral to Ryan Serhant in Miami from being on a podcast. Use me because I will vet the people for you. So check this out. I'll go to Jeffrey Hay, right? One of the top comments on this post. I'll click on Jeffrey's profile. I don't follow him. He's a real estate in Tampa, Miami, and Orlando, eXp Realty collabs. So what I'll do is I'll actually follow 5 people that I don't know. I'll click on their posts and I'll actually add some context to it. So what I would do typically, guys got style, great style, and that house has wild curb appeal. Has wild curb appeal. That's a real comment. I told you guys I actually think the hat, the style, the vibe, I get it. I'm down with it. I'm commenting on his post. So I'm going to do that through 5 different people. What now the strategy with somebody like this would be in order to actually interact is I'd probably go through 3 or 4 of his posts, interact with him, create a bit of a conversation, and then I'd go to the next person. So I'd find 5 people on a post that I don't know, that maybe I want to know, and then I would just interact with them. And then the last thing that I would do is I would go to, if I wanted to be inspired by a podcast, right? So if I go to, let's say, actually, you know what I'll do is go to price to sell. Matt Campoli runs a great real estate podcast. Good buddy of mine already, but I'm going to look at people that he's interviewing and see. This guy runs Rockstar. These people, actually, I just watched their podcast and I don't know these people. And I think they'd make good guests on my podcast. So I already have a great relationship with Matt. This is where you can actually go in and other people that are doing the things that you're in alignment with, you can now be in collaboration with, because I have guests that would probably kill it on Matt's podcast. Instead of reaching directly out to this guy who has no idea who I am, I could potentially reach out to Matt and say, hey, you killed it on this episode. Can you connect me with so-and-so? I'm looking for a couple more guests for this year to get on my show. So now I talk to 5 people that I know, 5 people that I don't know, and 5 people that I want to know. I made a really quick case study around this because I think it's important to be intentional with what I'm talking about, right? I'm talking about my podcast. I'm talking about real estate, but you can completely modify this, right? If I own a custom sneaker shop and I wanted to get around graffiti artists, or I wanted to get around a specific type of avatar of person, every single one of those niches exists on all platforms. And this strategy isn't only for Instagram. You could do the exact same thing on Twitter. If you're a commercial real estate agent, you can go to the hashtag CREI or retweet. You can go into marketing. You can go into thought leadership. If you spend time in the right ecosystems, you can curate your own. And what I think is uber powerful is people like Mr. Beast, Alex Hormozi. So many of these people realize that the most powerful lever in any business is marketing, right? And you got 2 options for marketing. You can pay for marketing, or you can build the actual brand overpaid every day of the week. We all say Kleenex when we talk about taking a tissue that we're going to use for our nose. You know, we use words that have developed inherent brand. What I want you to do is build your own brand, so that when people think about real estate, they think about Justin, or they think about thought leadership or speaking, they think about Ramon Ray, right? The thing that you do, you have to be intentional at creating, right? So hopefully those 2 tools were powerful for you. If you have any questions, send me a DM, the unfollow strategy, and then the 5-5-5 strategy. If you just put that on your calendar on a daily basis, should maybe only take you 30 minutes. Do it consistently, only 4 days a week. You're probably adding 100 people to your database. You're probably adding close to 10,000 followers a year if you do it consistently. And I'm only telling you to do it Monday to Thursday, take Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. You can still do it Friday and Saturday 70% of the time, but I don't want you to make it so overwhelming that if you don't do it every day, you feel like you failed. I'm going to rip through a couple myths that I think you definitely need to hear from me to also may paralyze you from actually doing the thing. So the number 1 myth is it's superficial, right? People think that you're just being a cheese ball and you're doing it because you're trying to monetize people. I hope it came through when I was doing this, that the way I do it is actually to be more human and interact with people that I want to interact with at scale. Like a lot of those people, my story bubbles, I miss Chris. I haven't seen him in a while. I should go back and train with those guys, right? Like I'm using the platforms to allow me to be a better human being. I use a CRM to be like, hey, You haven't talked to that past client in a quarter or a year. How many times has your real estate agent not called you? And I've done it too. I use the systems to allow me to have more leverage, right? Second myth, my opinion, one of the biggest myths is it's all about going viral. I had somebody message me in the DMs last week and tell me, hey, actually, let me show you this. Let me actually show you this exact thing. So if I go to my profile, this is going to blow your mind. Guy DMs me and goes, look at what I did to your post with Christina Smallhorn, 147 likes. Look how many likes I got you on this post, right? Christina Smallhorn, massive YouTuber. She was on my podcast if you want to watch that. Unbelievable. She breaks it down in a big way. And he goes, look at this. I could do this for more of your posts. I sent him a message back and I said, please don't. Why do I not want him to do this? Because a lot of these are just bots. And a lot of the bots that like this post are never going to do any business with me or send me any referrals. So I actively don't want that type of business. Accounts that you follow today that you think get a lot of engagement and a lot of real views, it's paid. Let me say that again. It's paid. We all know people buy followers. People buy engagement. And not only that, they use engagement pods and engagement groups. So if you follow a creator that you think is absolutely slaying it, maybe they are, maybe they're not. But if you're looking at their comments and it's the same 10 people always saying, great post, super inspiring, poop emoji, fist bump emoji, it's literally a farm of people at a computer that are managing all these people's social media accounts, going across them and just bumping up engagement, because then you can show the consumer, look at all the engagement that you have. Oh my gosh, you must be successful with social media. Let me work with you. Do they get business that way? I'm sure they do. There's people that I know that have purchased followers that are considered influencers, but are the least influential people in the actual industry you could imagine. The reason I'm exposing kind of that piece isn't to be negative. People can do whatever they want, more power to them. But it's for the person that's watching this video that feels like they can't compete with that. You do not need to. I've had posts that have no virality. I've had posts that don't have a lot of likes. I still get posts that don't get a ton of engagement, but guess what? My phone rings all the time. Guess what? I was at a massive property yesterday that we were going to do the most amazing video for, because she sees my social media and she's never commented on any of my posts. As I was doing the strategies I told you over the last decade, my phone kept ringing. People kept telling me, oh, I watch your videos, I do this, I do that. And that's why they're calling me. And I would always think, like, why don't you like the post or comment or show me, right? But they're showing me by giving me their business. So you really need to shut out the noise and realize it's not about going viral. Especially I want to push back heavily against another person that DM'd me saying, if you gave, hooks that were a little bit more aggressive, negative, you're going to get more engagement. I don't want that. That's not the type of energy I want to put out in the world. That's not the type of energy I want to attract. So I'm okay with losing virality for quality. I'd rather have 1,000 true fans and 1,000 people that absolutely love what I'm doing, will share it to everybody that they feel will get value from it, will like, comment, and subscribe on this video, than 1 million people who bring any negativity in my life. Third myth is people think it's only for business. Or sorry, if they either think it's only for business or only for personal. I need 2 accounts. You don't need 2 accounts. You need to be more human, right? No real estate agent in the world has ever gotten business from just posting market stats, average days on market, home prices. But if I post my interpretation of that data, I'm super valuable, right? So the more personal I am as a human being and show my expertise, the higher the chance is that I'm actually going to convert. And another myth is that the results are immediate. People think that you're going to do this, and I'm not seeing results, Justin. I've been doing this for 4 months. Like, buckle up, 6, 9 months, a year. But what you can accomplish in 5 could change your entire life. I committed to YouTube about 1.5 years ago. This channel is almost at 2,000 subscribers. Our main channel is at 3. Doesn't sound like a lot. Our views on my main channel are over 1.5 million. And you should see the community that we're actually building. One of my good friends that was on this podcast, Mike Sherrard, he's at, I think, close to 100K, told me he tracked the exact same way. Like, it took him forever to get to his first 1,000. Then it went a lot quicker to 3. Then it went a lot quicker to 12, to 20, to 100. That's how the system actually works. It's a compounding effect. But I don't worry about the vanity metrics. I don't worry about the subscribers. I don't worry about the view counts. I worry about doing the thing. Because even if I put out not great quality things for the first year, then it refines, then it refines, then it refines. And what we're doing in 2024 is going to blow your mind. I've been really working on what do you guys want to see? And what are we going to do more and less of? If you're here and there's specific things you want me to cover, jump in the comments and let me know, or feel free to send me a DM if you don't want to put it out there publicly. Another myth is that there's too much negative content out there. I agree there's too much negative content out there, but you see what you want to see. So the other tip that I'll give you, this is kind of just a bonus. When you see stuff you don't want to see, unfollow. This includes ads. This includes videos. This like literally remove this from my feed. I don't want to see more of this. If you click that button more often, you're going to curate a better feed, right? And if you engage with and actually comment on posts that you really do enjoy, you will see more of that. People also have privacy concerns on social media. I think you're responsible for that. I am the most private public person you'll ever see. There's things I do not talk about on my channels, and there's things that I talk everything about. You're the one that has to put parameters around what you're willing to share. And if you do that in the beginning, it makes things a lot easier. Also, people think it's a waste of time. Sure. If you think it is, people thought Clubhouse was a waste of time. And meanwhile, I was doing millions of dollars of referrals, and I continue to do so off Clubhouse because I've developed relationships and I was willing to put in the work. Also developed friendships with people like Glenda Baker, Andy C, Zach Loft, Ray Allen, Christina Smallhorn, Roberto Blake, Sean Cannell, Glenn Lundy. I go on and on and on because of being intentional with my work. It's only a waste of time if you're wasting your time. Don't let the tool use you. You need to learn how to use the tool. And last but not least, it's only for young people. Sure, everybody said that about Facebook, and then everybody said that about Instagram, and everybody said that about TikTok. The average age for people that are on Facebook is, I think, 45 to 65. Instagram is, I think, 38 to about 45. TikTok is trending 30s, 40s plus. So all of these things, they pivot and they change over time, but you'd be shocked at how much business is out there. And I'll leave you with this. I actually was reading a comment in a post about TikTok specifically, and somebody said, well, nobody does business on TikTok. Somebody was hating on a real estate agent's post. He's a rapper, real estate agent. They're like, this is embarrassing, blah, blah, blah. Nobody converts business on TikTok. I didn't say anything. But Glenda Baker, who's one of my friends who's been on this channel, who I met on Clubhouse, did $1 million in referrals off TikTok alone last year. So if you're inspired in any way, shape, or form, let me know in the comments. Hit that notification, that subscription button. Excited to see you next week. I'm here every morning, typically 7 to 7:30 a.m. doing live. The Prime People podcast is every Thursday, 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but you can check out all the back episodes. Welcome to the Prime Nation, and I'll see you